EHA News. I'm your host, Ashley, here to bring you the newest on the current financial state of the USA. The stock market has gone on a free fall this Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. Billions of dollars are being lost, taking out thousands of investors. If you're here yesterday, you would have caught that the stock market fell 13%. Today, it fell another 12%. Several experts believe that stocks are too overpriced and that a crash was imminent. Abundant debt, caused by the misuse and misunderstanding of credit, also factored into this. Stocks were also bought on a margin, which means that people who borrowed money from the banks bought stocks using this. They are now severely in debt. If you put all your money in the stock market, good chances are you've lost everything. About a month earlier, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York raised interest rates to 6%, increasing the money you will owe when you're able to repay it back. Now, panic is among the public as people rush to withdraw the remaining funds in their bank accounts. These banks are starting to fail as they don't have the sufficient cash to pay everyone what they're owed. Now, we're going to go to Hannah, who will have our predictions for the future.
Thank you, Ashley. Currently, people are in the doghouse. It's possible that within the next 4 years, 30% of the population will lose their jobs. Industrial production is going to take a big hit from this. We have experts on the line that believe that production will go down a whopping 47%. As people lose the ability to rake in money, people will lose their homes. If this trend continues, hundreds of thousands of people will be without a residence. Without a home or job, it's likely that some citizens will have to face starvation. A large percent of the people are going to have to become impoverished. President Herbert Hoover is going to have a lot on his plate. The government has to find a way to dig America out of the hole that it's in. Our only hope is that if he can't find a way, our next president will. All we know right now is that it's going to take a lot to get us out of this mess. So you better be ready, because money is not going to be raining from the sky anytime soon.
Thanks, Hannah. And for the rest of you, that's probably more money than you'll see for the next couple of years. But now, we're going to go to Emily, who will now interview an expert in the field of financial literacy.
Thank you, Ashley. Today, we will be interviewing professional business instructor, Jason Wright.
Action. Are we on?
Okay. What are stocks?
Well, stocks are, it's complex, but essentially stocks at their most basic are part ownership of a company with a fluctuating value. It can be bought and sold depending on the situation, but again, at its core, it is a part ownership of a company, and if you own them, then technically you are an owner. Kind of like me and the Boston Celtics.
Okay. How do you feel about credits?
Credits. Credit is extremely necessary. However, it can be very dangerous. If used wisely, it can be very beneficial as it allows you to purchase things you otherwise wouldn't be able to, like houses or cars. But if not handled responsibly, it can lead to significant financial issues.
Okay. So I've heard you have some experience being homeless. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, fortunately, my time as being homeless is very limited. I didn't handle a certain situation very well, so yes, technically I was homeless for 2 nights. Luckily I had some people that stepped up and allowed me to maybe take shelter with them, but again, it unfortunately it is a very real problem, and I don't mean to make light of it, but again, I can only imagine it being rather stressful if you're in that situation.
Okay, one more question. Do you have any advice for people who struggle financially?
Again, advice. My thought would be this, and again, I know we're in a crazy situation. A lot of people have found themselves in hard times, but my advice would be, number one, don't compound the problem. All right, so if it's an issue, find what the root of the issue is and get that fixed, and keep grinding. Again, hard work is beneficial, so keep your nose to the grindstone and see your way through it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was Jason Wright on our current financial situation. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Emily. And for those of you at home, let's hope you get to stay there. Now we're going to cut to some citizens who we asked how this current financial situation is affecting them.
I invested all my money into the stock market and then it crashed and I lost everything.
You know, I still cry myself to sleep every night, but at least I have a reason.
My husband lost his job and now us and our 7 kids live in the streets.
I feel depressed.
Well, that was a handful. If those interviews showed us anything, it's that money is becoming a thing of the past. For those of you just now joining us, I hope you're caught up on what is happening. Banks are closing, people are losing their jobs, and there's a good chance you could face starvation. All you can really hope is that this misfortune doesn't find you. For those of you who are depressed by this news, I had my writers come up with a couple of jokes that will hopefully make you feel better. What's the difference between you and America? America will eventually get over this depression. In which state did the Great Depression start? Missouri. Now, if those didn't get a chuckle out of you, I'm afraid you're already too far gone. But that's EHA News. I'm your host, Ashley. I hope you have a good rest of your day.